welcome back. This is MattyG, and this one's just having a look at Starfield, one of the ships we'll be looking to use eventually. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than I first imagined, so it's clipping through some of the Atlantis background. But let's have a look at her. So you can see underneath, there's not a lot going on under here really. It's almost impossible to get through. Hang on. Let's go around. Excuse all the noise from the incoming and outgoing ships. So we've used a lot of glitch techniques on Xbox to meld everything in together, as you'll be able to see. We've got these big old radiators in the middle, which I think looks pretty darn nice. We've got side radiators, we've got pipes joining in. It's taken a long old time to get this to meld well. Yeah, even all the way through here you can see I've melded in parts where it actually looks really good, including the girders that join up from A to B there. Yeah, it's looking alright. We've got a few, we're using A and B class pieces, no C's. We've got 4 fake engines, so you've got two either side there, and then we've got the main engines at the top, either side. Landing gear, bottom left and right there. There is cargo space inside as well. Now we're going to take a quick look inside before we go talk about weapons, because I can never remember their name. The ship is mostly made up of Deimos, Stroud Eklund and Nova parts. There are 1 or 2 Hope Tech pieces thrown in as well. I have no idea why the technician's in the ship, but welcome aboard. So walking straight into the ship, we are greeted in this little area here. I was hoping that there'd be a second door there, but the way it's worked out, I actually don't mind it. So if we come straight through, we're straight into some living areas. We've got quite a few of these living areas. I haven't decorated anything. I've literally just finished building the ship, so no decoration required yet. That comes right through, and then we go into a 3x1, which is an all-in-one. Well, however, it's an empty one. The idea is I'm going to be building sort of like a mess hall in here. So this would be sort of like the captain's mess this end. Then you got the galley, and then this side would be sort of like the crew mess room. At least that's the idea anyway. Coming through into another 2x2. This one's a Nova Galactic. So we've got the pool table. You've got to have the pool table, right? And I'm really chuffed at where the door ended up being placed on these, because as you can see, I've got the pool table here. That's the door we've come through, and then this goes down to more of the ship, which do you know what, I'll just close that. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm just going to close that up for the time being, so we know we haven't been down there yet. So yeah, you come through into here, you've got this nice little area. Normally they'll put a door sort of in here and you lose all the weights, or a door at the pool table, which is rather annoying. Luckily enough, they did put the door here, so this is why I don't mind it so much, to be honest. This comes back through into another all-in-one, so you've got another 4 bunks here. I think it gives you 3 passenger slots, so that's handy. Coming straight through across, now we've got a long hallway to carry. We've got the science lab. Workshop.
To your flame,
oh
the
god.
to your fridge, the lint in your pot.
Then we've got the medical bay. Coming across into the far corner and swing a right at the end of the ship now. There's no way out here, just through those doors. So they've got to fight through everyone, and it's the brig, or actually, in fact, it's a 2x1 armory by Deimos. But you get a brig in here, which is why I like to choose this one. So you do get your weapons rack and everything else that you can do. You've got loads of storage area and rooms to do what you want to do at this end. So yeah, I mean, I quite like those particular habs. They come quite in handy. And if we head back to the last 2x2, one with the pool table, would be able to. So you basically done a little UE into here, and this will lead you into the actual heart of the ship. So first off, we have a control room where everybody can work in comfort. It moves straight into the battle stations, which I always call the CDC. I don't know why. I'll be honest. I'm planning on using these walls here to put some weapons racks in, just because I think battle stations, you would want weapons on hand for any possible boarding. And then through this side we have the engineering bay. See, originally that's where I thought the door would come through, but it didn't. So, but it worked out really well because it kind of keeps the work part of the ship away from the leisure part of the ship. It works out really well, actually, the way it's ended up. So yeah, nice long stretch there. Window either side. So you've got a window here for the engineering bay. So during operations and battles, etc., you probably will have a spotter at the window, just keeping an eye out on things. And then we've got the same opposite in the battle stations. Again, you'd probably have someone just spotting either side here, help with the communication lines, especially if you get any damage to sort of communications array, etc. Coming over to here, we do have our exit point for docking and our entry point for the bridge. Now, I've not used this one before, but I now really like it. I don't often like the ladders, but as I say, this one worked out really well, being able to stack the ladders like this. So yeah, when I say no ladders, yes, there is technically two, but they're not really ladders when you think about it. So this allows the bridge to be kind of sealed off in case if the bridge gets destroyed or you're boarded, you can then seal this off as well. So that gives you a nice bit. You've got sort of like a over-bridge command post here, which is quite nice, which is why I always think it's annoying that they do the ladder all the way up. It'd be nice to have like an animation where it slides out of the way and the hatch closes or something. That'd be cool. Anyway, that's that's the bridge. We've got plenty of seating. We're on a slightly raised platform here. We've got seating all the way around, and obviously you've got the captain's chair or the pilot's chair right at the front. Absolutely love this bridge. So let's just take it up in the air and have a look. Here's the ship in all its glory. She's big. She's got a big butt. She's decent on the speed though, considering the size. So with boost, easily hit 500, 6 nearly. Without the boost on full speed, you're almost hitting 150. It does struggle with the turn rates, but when you get up to big size ships, you will do. Just trying to see if we can't. There we go. See how much damage we can take. Wow, where did all that info come from? That was insane. you go. So, yeah, playing on quite a high level. It took an absolute pounding. And I was only using one or two weapons the whole time just to see how much impact it would take. So, yeah, good little ship. Alright, let's head back down and have a look at it in the builder. So looking at the ship, it's 44 meters long, so it's not like it's massively over length. I mean, we could figure out a way of knocking a few feet off. I mean, there's ways that we could do it, but I'm not going to. I mean, you look at the stats there for a Class B ship, it's not bad at all. 18 crew capacity, which means we've got plenty of room for passengers as well. You look at the system stats for this without any crew on board. The only ones I have on board is the Doring fan at the minute, just because I've not long started New Game Plus on this particular save through. And no, I think it looks pretty nice. I love the colouring of it all. I think that's one of the best bits about it. Now, I'm not going to break down all the parts for you because I don't think it's right that people copy other people's builds. It's just about going out there, getting a feel for it, because you'll always want to do your own thing. But if you was to build something of this kind of magnitude, with all the new mods, etc., that's coming in, you are looking at spending well over 450,000 credits. Yeah, that's what this one cost me, and this is B class. There's no C class pieces in this. I think the engines are actually A class, so that gives you a little heads up there. Yeah, I mean, there is nothing really I can. I mean, I could technically. No, I can't lose any of that at the front either. Not the way I've got it laid out. I can move the thrusters in to the side. Move the shroud caps back, the Nova caps back. So, as an example, what I could do is move these back, take that section out, move them back, or even change the top caps here to something completely different. Move thrusters under here and get rid of the strut. That would actually take a lot off, and then we just take the engine brake off the front as well. That actually takes some weight off, and it should bring that down probably by about 2 meters, give or take. Moving to the back, I could, in theory, move all this line here straight forward by 1. So that would go forward 1, everything would go forward by 1, making this not stick out a little bit, which would then allow me to wipe out both these engines here, these fake engines. Possibly that would bring me into around about 40. So this sort of build is possible with the standard 40 by 30 size parameters. However, with the new build up to 200, you can get a lot bigger on Xbox, and as long as you're only sort of just past the size parameters, you won't get any glitching or anything. I mean, let's say if we come out of the ship, you'll notice it's not glitchy at all. It's just way too far over. And it kind of, I mean, the foot is, I mean, that is barely touching the pad there. It's well on the pad there, which is weird because I've built this ship symmetrical and centered, so it should be centered. It's just off to the side slightly, which shows you that the actual landing pad that you're on isn't centered. So on weapons at the moment, I do have, bearing in mind because it's all B class, I've got these A-class lasers on. These are single P4MW pulse lasers. Yes, there are better lasers, but I like these ones specifically because they're more symmetrical. If let me put a laser on, you can see exactly what I'm on about. Where are the weapons? Here we go. Let's grab a laser. So we go for these flare lasers for a second. Right? We pop these on, say, here. Hang on. I want to go on that back one. There. So you can see how that looks, yeah? I grab that and flip that over and come over this way with it. It's now reversed. So the laser's actually on top and its power unit or targeting unit is on the bottom. Whereas on this side, it's the other way around. That really bugs me with those lasers because they're really obvious. Other weapons not so bad. I mean, you take these railguns, for example. You've got what I would class as the mag box at the top, ammo there, and then the actual railgun. That's how I look at it. When you flip that over to this side, it does stick it underneath the bottom, but it's not as sore-thumbed. Does that make sense to people? As it was the laser. So, yeah, I went with those lasers. Unfortunately, they do take up 4 of the max power slots. You can have 12 on any one weapon. So 4 divided by 12 is 3. You can have 3. Simple as that. Then we've gone for our auto turrets, B class. We've gone with auto neuro turrets. They're pointed out at the side. I may change their positionings eventually. I may not. And I've gone for 4. So we've got 2, 1 on each wing, 1 on the entry deck, whatever you want to call that particular section. I only said entry deck because I was right by the entrance. And then, yeah, so they're pretty good. But these railguns are decent enough as well. These only hold 3 on the power, so you can get 4 of them. And I've just gone from 1 on either wing at the back and 1 on either central wing on here as well. So, yeah, that's all the weapons I've got on here for the moment. I mean, once you pass certain quest lines, you get certain weapons. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but you do get certain weapons that only have 2 weapon slots, which, I mean, that's just, I mean, it gives you 6 weapons of one type. That's insane power. But, yeah, I've got to unlock that on the new game, so... yeah, I didn't know that you had to unlock that on the new game plus, but you do. Just shows you I don't really use those sort of weapons for the builds, but there you go. So yeah, that's the ship. I haven't got a name for her yet. I have no idea what I'd call her, but that's going to be the first of a couple of ships that I'm going to be building and coming through to you. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to go for some older type ships as well. Something that would be early game sort of type builds. They would be quite handy to have. So there you have it. That's my current build. I like it. It looks good, and hopefully you do too. Let me know in comments any sort of names that come to mind, what you like the sound of, what you think of the idea of turning that 3x1 into a communal mess hall where I've got a captain's quarters, a galley, and a small mess hall for other staff members, etc. Yeah, I desperately need a really good name for the ship, and any other advice would be more than welcome. So until next time, this has been MattyG here on Starfield, which is a new one for us. And until then, peace out.